RJ Barrett is a player I've talked about before on this channel. And in the last video I talked about him, I also talked about his potential. But now at the start of year 4 for RJ, people are beginning to question and doubt he can ever be what the Knicks have desired for him to be for years. So in today's video, I want to revisit this topic and talk about what I think RJ's potential is at this moment. RJ Barrett is an interesting player to me, just because of how his career is shaping up and has turned out thus far. He was taken with the 3rd overall pick behind 2 generational talents in John Morant and Zion Williamson, and before other super talented young players in Tyler Herro, Jordan Poole, and Darius Garland. Of course, there are other notable players too that some might take ahead of RJ Barrett or say that their careers have turned out better thus far. But these are the guys who I want to point out just because these are the ones that have become household names or like really established themselves, in this league. Like, for instance, Tyler Herro winning 6th Man of the Year, John Morant, Zion, Darius Garland becoming All-Stars, and Jordan Poole just won a championship, right, as like a core member of that Golden State Warriors team. And he got a bag because of it as well. All these guys have really just, like I said, established themselves in this league, while RJ Barrett, the 3rd overall pick in the 2019 draft, still hasn't really done that. Despite being in his 4th year, RJ Barrett is having struggles that rookies and sophomores have, where they're still trying to figure things out. And we as fans and media and whoever else still don't really know what to make of RJ Barrett. Yeah, he has shown flashes of all-star potential, but it has never really been something of substance, something definite, or something that we could really point to and be like, oh yeah, he's for sure going to be this, right? He's for sure going to be an all-star. He's for sure going to be a superstar. Like, he has never really shown that in his career, or never really had moments like that. So far this season in 17 games, RJ Barrett is averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists on 49% true shooting, well below the average, which is around 47% according to Basketball Reference. His effective field goal percentage is bad at 43.5%. He's shooting 39% from the field and 25% from 3, just really bad shooting numbers. RJ's shooting has never really been that efficient aside from his sophomore year, where he was shooting 40% from 3. Even that his true shooting percentage was only 53.5%, which is still not really that efficient. His inefficiencies go beyond his shooting numbers. His turnover ratio is absolutely horrendous at 2.9 assists for 2.1 turnovers a game. He did have a really good stretch before going into the slump. Over the course of 5 games, he was averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists on 49, 40, 77 splits. And the Knicks were 3-2 in that stretch. But like I said, his level of play just isn't very sustainable for RJ. And now with his new contract, the Knicks are expecting and needing him to really reach his potential. And so far, he has not done that. But despite all this, I still think there's hope for RJ Barrett. If you saw my last video, I did talk about how I believe RJ Barrett still has all-star potential, and that hasn't really changed. But I do feel like now it's becoming less likely as he is in his 4th year and hasn't really made that jump yet to being that level of a talent. I think one thing to keep in mind is RJ is still only 22 years old, nowhere near his prime. So it's not like there isn't time for him to improve. There's plenty of time. He has the rest of the season as well to do so. I mean, guys like Pascal Siakam, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and Andrew Wiggins all took quite a few years to develop into all-star talents. But let's ask the question that really matters. Can he become the player that the Knicks need him to be? Can he become this perennial all-star who leads the Knicks to consecutive playoff appearances and is like the first option, all this junk? I mean, where we sit right now, I don't think he will. Like, if I was being honest, I think he could be like an Andrew Wiggins kind of all-star, right? Number 2 option kind of thing, maybe. Number 3 even. Like I said, I mean, just given everything I mentioned, he has a lot of promising aspects. He's been really clutch. He's hit really clutch shots. He seems like a really good teammate. He's good at driving and generating free throws. He's good on defense. But can those skills translate to him eventually becoming your go-to scorer, a facilitator on offense, right? A guy who could play lockdown defense on an NBA All-Star and then drop 20 points on the other end and then do that again and again throughout a season so the Knicks can, be a winning team. Can RJ Barrett be that guy? Where we sit right now, like I said, no. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anyone really thinks that's going to happen. Unless you're really an optimist for RJ Barrett. I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, you can't rule it out that RJ Barrett just turns around. I mean, maybe after the All-Star break, RJ Barrett starts averaging 30 points per game. Who knows? Maybe he really finds it and figures it out. I I'm saying, like, you never really know. A lot of season to go. A lot of RJ's career to go. I guess we'll see how it develops. Maybe I'll make another video on it in the future. I guess we'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about RJ Barrett in the comments down below. Do you think the Knicks, can depend on him to be their franchise guy, their franchise savior, quote unquote, right? Like I said in my last video. But yes, let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.